What's up viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm happy to receive the latest release by TOX, and if you don't know this brand, the abbreviation stands for Trust on X, and it's the only brand that shares the same hardware and firmware features used in the Ugoos models, so you know this brand will be high on my list of recommended boxes. So in today's video, we have the release of the latest model called the TOX5 Lite, running on the Amlogic S905X5M chipset, and it's the Lite version hardware configuration, so it's affordably priced to deliver high performance at a low price. So don't go anywhere, my full review is up next. Welcome back. So in this Lite version, you get the latest TOX5 Lite model itself. You get an infrared remote control, one HDMI cable, a 5 volts, 2 amps, 12 watts DC power supply, and a user manual. Its design consists of a well-ventilated plastic outer shell with ventilation holes to its base, top and sides. For I/O, it comes with a 2.1 HDMI port, a gigabit LAN port, a 5 volts 2 amps DC USB Type-C power delivery port, one USB 3.0, another USB 2.0, and a micro SD card slot. Both USB ports are colored black, so the claim of one of them being USB 3.0 I cannot confirm. At the front, you get an LED power light and an LED display, and to its base has 4 rubber feet, a reset button, and ventilation holes. The first boot up process of this new model features a simple TOX animation splash screen, no first startup wizard, followed by the selection of 2 launchers. The Quickstep launcher, which we are all familiar with as it has all the features of the mobile version of Android and it's suited to be navigated with a mouse cursor. And you have the TOX launcher, which is a launcher designed to be navigated with a direction pad and an OK button. For this review, I'll be using the Quickstep launcher and an air mouse pointer. The included infrared remote can be used to navigate this launcher, but it's not well suited as it does not feature Bluetooth, and the mouse feature on the remote is not an air mouse movement, but moved with each click of the direction pad. So for easy navigation, I'll be using an alternative air mouse. For those of you new to Android boxes, the operating system installed on this box is the mobile version of Android, and with this Quickstep launcher, you get mobile navigation features such as long click menu pop-ups, drag and drop feature, a navigation bar with recent apps feature, and a full status bar with system controls. With the recent apps feature, you also get split screen display. Another feature of the Quickstep launcher is the ability to change the launcher background wallpaper. You also have the ability to add a widget, those that are available by the launcher. If you would like to customize even further, you can install an alternative launcher from the Google Play Store or custom APK, and you can also upgrade from an image wallpaper to a live wallpaper. So its basic system information shows that its operating system is Android 14. This is its current firmware build information and you have access to developer options. So for unique firmware features, the box features adaptive HDR display, screen orientation to portrait mode, reverse portrait and reverse landscape, auto frame rate switching, up to 12-bit color depth, hardware monitor feature, max CPU performance mode, mouse pointer options, and you have Samba server and client server feature. I now turn to my advanced TV Box Specs app to get a deeper insight into its hardware and firmware features. You can get this app for free using the link in the description. So under summary, it shows that the manufacturer is TOX. Its operating system is the mobile version of Android 14. It has root access via the Magisk application. It has Google Widevine Level 3 with no HDCP protection. Its CPU is the latest Amlogic S905X5M, a quad-core Cortex-A55 processor clocked at 2.5 GHz, configured in 32-bit mode. This is the Lite version, so it only has 2 GB of RAM, 32 GB of internal storage, and it has client and Samba server feature. Its GPU is the Mali G310, and the app detects it as a single-core graphics processor with OpenGL-ES version 3.2, Vulkan 1.3, up to 4K 60Hz display with HDMI CEC feature. Its Wi-Fi adapter is not Wi-Fi 6 but Wi-Fi 5 AC that provides dual-band 2.4 GHz plus 5G Wi-Fi. It's currently connected to my Wi-Fi 6 router and it works just fine. Its Ethernet LAN port is a gigabit LAN port. Its Bluetooth version cannot be detected. For video, it supports HDR10, HLG, AV1, AISR, and AIPQ. However, there are no features in the firmware to access its video upscaling capabilities. It also shows here that it does not support HDR10 Plus or Dolby Vision. For surround audio, you get all surround sound audio output formats via audio passthrough. And it has an idle operating temperature of around 54 degrees Celsius, 129 Fahrenheit. Moving on to streaming. If you install the mobile version of YouTube, you get up to 4K 2160p at 60Hz with HDR display quality. You also get picture-in-picture mini window feature. For streaming movies and TV shows from premium movie streaming services such as Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Max, you are restricted to basic 720p resolution due to the lack of Google Widevine Level 1 certification and HDCP protection. Here in my Prime Video account under Details, it shows the supported display and audio formats, but they don't trigger on my TV. For playing self-hosted videos, you get decoders such as HDR10, AV1, and HLG. You don't get HDR10 Plus or Dolby Vision. One of the challenges in playing self-hosted videos is finding the right media player that can play all the formats and you can also access your home server network. Hence the reason I created my own advanced media player called TV Box Player. I have now updated it to version 17 to now display the video bitrate in the OSD. You can download my player for free in the description. So this is HDR10. This is the AV1 format. This is Dolby Vision with stereo audio, but seeing that the box does not support Dolby Vision, the media player falls back to HLG. This is Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos, and the media player falls back to HLG with Dolby Atmos that is supported. This is HDR10 Plus that falls back to HDR10. This is official HLG. And this is DVD RIP format M2TS with Dolby True HD. Please note, your box must have these hardware decoders for the media player to successfully play them. So when you purchase this TOX5 Lite version, you can successfully play videos with all the required decoders. For surround sound enthusiasts, the TOX5 Lite can play all surround sound audio, Dolby and DTS formats. So this is Dolby Atmos.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy.
This is Dolby Digital Plus.
Come on, you guys, let's go!
Or captures the full extent.
Do you want to know my secret?
You get DTS HD Master Audio. You get Dolby Surround. Dolby True HD.
This is the left channel. Next, we have the center channel. Over here is the right channel.
DTS-X. And M2TS DVD RIP format. This one has DTS-X. For root access, out of the box the firmware is not rooted as shown here by the root checker app. And to gain root access, you simply head over to the settings area under device preferences and open the super user tab. There you will see the Magisk switch. You enable it and it will require you to restart the box. Once restarted, you will see the Magisk application in the app section. You open it and it will ask you to grant one more additional permission. And once you click OK, it will automatically restart the box once again. Once restarted, you can open the root checker app again to grant super user permission to confirm that you now have root access. For Android gaming, this is the Lite version that only has 2 GB of RAM configured in 32-bit mode. However, surprisingly, its gaming performance is really good. Here I'm playing Shadowgun Legends on the highest ultra graphics settings and it handles pretty well. Now a look at some benchmarks and where it ranks on my chart. First, it's RAM and internal storage. It has a RAM copy speed of 4,472 megabytes per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 238 megabytes per second and a write speed of 99. In benchmarking its Wi-Fi and Ethernet LAN speed, just for clarification, my internet service provider upgraded the speed of my internet to 480 to 500 megabits per second approximately. And the Wi-Fi speed test revealed that on the 5 GHz band it achieved the maximum speed of my network. Its LAN port is a gigabit LAN port, also achieving the maximum speed of my network. However, its 2.4 GHz band achieved around 75 megabits per second. In benchmarking, the Amlogic S905X5M CPU single-core and multi-core performance, the Geekbench 5 CPU benchmark produced a score of 196 single-core and 662 multi-core. In benchmarking its GPU graphics rendering performance, due to its 2 GB of RAM, it could not complete the 3D Mark Wildlife test because it simply ran out of memory during the test. So I had to resort to the Slingshot Extreme test, and it produced a score of 1055 with an average FPS of 3.15. And in the comprehensive AnTuTu benchmark, it received a score of 167,536. So these are the benchmarks. Let's now see where it ranks on my chart. So I've updated the scores on my chart, and the new TOX5 Lite at the time of making this video ranks at position 23 with a 3 out of 5 star rating. So to view all of its features, you simply click anywhere on the listing and the details will pop up. You also have a purchase link to the lowest price right here. So to view this chart to compare all of its features to other boxes in this list, I placed a link in the description below. So in summary, these are its pros and cons, and as mentioned, this is the Lite version without Dolby Vision. But with that said, even with its limited 2 GB of RAM, I found its performance to be pretty impressive for the price of only around $69. So if you are looking for a cheap Android box with all the bells and whistles, then the TOX5 Lite will surely fit your budget. So that brings to an end this review. So if you are interested in this affordable yet feature-rich Android TV box, you can find a purchase link in the description section below this video. Please note, links in the description are affiliate links, which means when you use them to purchase, you support the channel directly with a small percentage of your purchase. So thanks in advance for using my links and your continued support. So in closing, give the video the thumbs up if you would like to support the channel and the work that I do on these boxes. If you are just tuning in for the first time, then I urge you to click the subscribe button and ring the notifications bell. This way you will receive a notification each time I release a new video, or for second-hand prices on products featured in my videos, or decide to do a giveaway. So thanks again for watching, stay connected, and see you in the next one.